Hello. So today, as I celebrate my 8 years of sobriety, I thought I would try something a little different. I've always been very open about my recovery, and that's because, for one, I think that it's important to, and my responsibility, to help other people who might need it through learning from my mistakes. And also, I really believe that open recovery is essential to help break that stigma of addiction. So what I thought I'd do today is tell you a little bit about my story. So first of all, I grew up in a family that basically were non-drinkers. I mean, my dad and my grandpa had a few drinks here and there, but as a rule, there was really no alcohol around when I was growing up. But I remember the first few times that I drank, just prior to going to college, actually. And each of those times, I drank to excess, to blackout drunk. And then in my college years, I was what I now know to be a binge drinker, and I pretty much have been a binge drinker the rest of my adult life. And my brother and one of my good friends can attest to what a nightmare that was back then. And of course, unfortunately, many of my friends today can also attest to what that was like throughout until I finally stopped drinking. But anywho, moving on, I was an angry drunk, and even though I acted despicably and embarrassed myself on more than one occasion, I never believed that I was an alcoholic. I never missed a day of work. I never missed an outing or an event. I managed as a single mother. And to me, and I think to the outside world, other than the drinking, of course, I maintained a pretty normal appearance in life. I mean, I could go days and even months without having a drink. And I just didn't fit that mold, that stereotypical alcoholic. So now I can tell you right now with certainty that I am an alcoholic. I have no doubt in my mind that I am. And I suffer from an illness that many people don't understand, and that some actually believe is just no more than bad behavior and bad choices. Now, I'm not really here to debate what other people believe, because that's not what's important to me anymore. What is important to me is that those of you who think you might have a problem, take a deeper look. And it's often said, if you think that you have a problem, you probably do have a problem. So I knew I had a problem with drinking. I spent my entire adult life trying to control my problem. If I knew that I was going to a party, to an event, to an outing, to anything that involved the consumption of alcohol, I would be obsessively thinking about how I was going to control that. Was I going to drink water in between? Was I going to drink vodka coolers because somehow those didn't make me as angry? Was I going to, drink pop in between? Maybe I just wasn't going to bring alcohol with me, or as much that I could drink. Didn't matter how far ahead the party was. It didn't matter, if it was weeks, months. I would actually start thinking about it as soon as I knew that the party was going to happen. And these strategies, they just went on and on and on. Now at home, in my final drinking months, I actually started teaching a boot camp, a fitness boot camp. And the primary reason for that was because I needed to occupy my time at night so that I couldn't drink as much, so that my time would be limited before it was time to go to bed, and therefore I couldn't drink much. Because at the end of my drinking, I did drink a little bit more and more, pretty much every night. And I thought it was normal for everybody, this constant planning how to drink, or how not to drink, as it were. But what I've always known not to be normal is that I could never just drink one. And that if I had the means to it, I would drink to excess, and I would drink to blackout. Despite my vigorous intentions not to. I would tell myself, I'm not going to drink more than one. I'm not going to drink more than two. Don't worry, I'm not going to drink anymore. And I never believed that I was an alcoholic. Now, looking back particularly again at the last months of my drinking, I see now how much I used alcohol as a means of coping, really, of shutting down the ever-spinning thoughts in my mind that I just didn't want there. And quite frankly, I was tired of having, and that I just wanted them to go away. I craved that fog, that numbness, the forgetting. And all I ever wanted was that happy buzz feeling that you get. That, that little tipsy feeling that you get. That's all I ever chased. And I hated getting drunk. I swear to you, I absolutely hated getting drunk. I hated that feeling of being out of control. But hating it wasn't enough to make me stop. Until I hit my bottom. I'm not going to talk about my bottom today. I can tell you that it was an ugly bottom, and it was absolutely the most devastating day, of my life. I still carry a lot of shame and guilt over it, and I probably will for the rest of my life. But it was finally what I needed. That kick in the butt that I needed and I wanted. And I wish it would have taken less. I really do. I can't tell you how much I would have wished that. But I can tell you for sure that for whatever reason it happened the way it did, it saved my life. I did believe that my life was done, that I had lost everything that was good to me. And I wanted my life to be over. I don't have to tell you what it's like today because most of you kind of watch me on Facebook. And, I don't put all my dark days on Facebook, my dark moments. My life is not perfect. I'm not perfect. None of ours are. I still have my struggles. But I can tell you for sure that my sober life is much more pleasant for me and for those around me. So, if there's one lesson to pass on today, one thing that I'd like someone to take from this would be this. Don't ignore those nagging doubts, those suspicions about yourself that you really don't want to believe. Don't get to the ugly bottom that I did, or worse. Seek out support, guidance, and help now. Many of us didn't believe that we were alcoholics until we knew we were. And in closing, I just want to thank my family and my friends, who stuck with me through my bottom, who knew that my drinking wasn't me, that didn't define who I was. I cannot tell you, or cannot express enough how much your love and support got me through and continues to get me through. So thank you. And thank you for all for listening.